Welcome to the studio here in Paris. We're talking about financing the energy transition. Welcome, Janet.
Thank you.
How has the shift to distributed generation affected the way energy projects are financed?
Well, we've seen an interesting change in the UK in the way projects are financed. Some of the financial structures that we have benefit projects that are relatively low in capital costs. And of course, some of the renewable projects we've seen are relatively small and distributed. They're closer to the point of use. What that means is that there's a gap has opened up between what might have traditionally been seen as fairly mid-scale plants, like a gas turbine, combined cycle gas turbine, for example, and some of the projects that are used locally. That's made it seem that it's quite a hill to climb to finance what would have been quite traditional energy generation projects.
So the addition of renewables has changed the landscape?
Oh, certainly. It's made it very easy to finance local projects and much more difficult to finance traditional projects.
Okay. In the next 3 to 5 years, what do you expect to see as the major game changers in the energy space?
Well, I expect something to happen on the customer side.
Yeah.
I think it's been something we've been waiting for a long time. But certainly in the UK, the smart meter rollout really has begun to take hold. Customers are beginning to see electricity use as something that they can flex on in the same way they might buy an off-peak railway ticket, and something where they might be an active participant. I think that's going to change the way that all kinds of companies interact with customers.
Of course, that choice and that customer centricity is changing business models.
Absolutely. We're seeing local business models, we're seeing all kinds of new suppliers coming into the market, and we expect to see some of the companies that supply other goods beginning to supply electricity and gas as well, and that will put a lot of pressure on the traditional suppliers.
Janet, you chaired one of the sessions about Power to X here. What were the key outcomes of your session?
Well, that was a really interesting session. We have discovered that what sometimes seen as a disbenefit of some of the renewables coming into the market is a real opportunity. We were talking about things like hydrogen, ammonia, synthetic liquids, the kinds of things that can be made if you've got spare electricity on the system and used as a different energy vector to decarbonise some of those very difficult to handle areas, like transport, trains or heavy good vehicles, or just transporting energy in a different way. And we saw a definite shift in the view of these moments when we've got excess renewables on the system. Sometimes in the UK that's referred to as times when prices cannibalised, so the price really drops because we've got oversupply. But it was referred to in the Power to X session as a green mountain, somewhere where times when it's really possible to access those really low prices to take up these new exciting options.
Thanks very much for your insights. Be sure to subscribe to our digital channels for more industry-related content.